Hey, this is JD and FIA. I'm going to show you a easy way to play a 7-3-6 chord progression in all your keys, pretty much. So if you're playing in a key and you find yourself needing to do a quick 7-3-6, I'm going to show you an easy way that you can make that reference and play that chord progression. All right, so let's start off in the key of C. All right, so first thing we want to do, we want to think about when we look at the 7-3-6. 7-3-6 in the key of C is going to be a B chord going to a E chord to a chord. 7-3-6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 7, 3, 6. Very popular chord progression. All right. So the way that I look at the chord progression, especially when I'm playing in keys that I have to, that are not my home key or whatever. If you're playing in any other key, basically. The way I look at all my 7-3-6s is the 7-3-6 for the key of C. I think about the relative minor for the key of C, which is going to be A. Okay, so the 7-3-6 is in the key of C is simply a 2-5-1 in the key of A. In the key of A, you have A is your 1. You have 2, 5, 1. 2, 5, 1 for the key of A. Those are the same notes that's a 7-3-6 for the key of C. So anytime I have to play a 7-3-6, I think about the relative minor, and then I think about doing a 2-5-1 in that key. So if I was playing D flat major, right, and I got to do a 7-3-6, I think about the 2-5-1 for B flat. So the 2-5-1 for B flat is C minor. Well, you don't think about major or minor, but it's going to be C going to F, going to B. Those are my same notes in my 7-3-6 for the key of D flat. D 7, 3, 6. So that's like a quick reference. Anytime I'm playing and I want to do a 7-3-6 on the fly, I may just think about that relative minor to help me, simplify the 7-3-6 process. All right, so with that in mind, usually the quickest way that I can play that I would say that you can play a 7-3-6 is, for example, if we're playing in the key of C, alright, and we gotta do a 7-3-6, alright, chord progression. The easiest way is to simply, whatever key you're playing in, first you're gonna go to the 7 with your left hand, right, and you're gonna make that one chord a diminished 7 chord. I have C, E flat, G flat, and A. So I'm turning a C major chord. Alright, I play my C major chord with the D in it, turn it into a C diminished 7 chord while I go to my 7. Alright, by playing this voicing here, this is going to give me, from B, this is going to be a B, C is going to be a flat 9, E is going to be a major 3rd, G flat, F sharp is going to be a 5th, and it's going to be a 7. So it's going to be a B7 flat 9. Alright, and then when I go to my 3, I'm going to do the same thing. Now remember, if I get lost, I can say, okay, I'm in the key of C, right? And the relative minor to C is A. So a 2-5-1 in the key of A is 2-5-1. Very easy. So that lets me know my next chord is going to be built off E. All I'm going to do is go to E with my left hand, and in my right hand, I'm going to drop everything down a half step to the next diminished 7 chord. So it's going to be a B diminished 7 chord. All right. So the move is, by playing that voice in here, it's gonna be an E chord. I'm gonna have a 5th, dominant 7th, flat 9, major 3rd. So it's an E7 flat 9. Alright, so I have the 7. So I'm playing my 1 chord, then the 7, C diminished 7 chord. Alright, and I'm gonna move it down a half step to my 3. Alright, and then when I go to my 6, only thing I gotta do is move these top notes, the F and the A flat, down a half step. So it's gonna put the E and the G while I go to my 6. Alright, and that gives them an easy voicing. So you have 1, 7, 3, If you're in another key, let's go to the key of D flat. Alright, so you got 1. Alright, to go to your 7, you're just going to turn this into a diminished 7 chord. Alright, so I got the 7 in my left hand. Alright, and I have D flat, E, G, and B flat. When I go to my 3, remember, if you get lost, you can think of, okay, the key is D flat, the relative minor is B flat, the 6th of it is B flat. The relative minor is the 6th of the key. B flat, 2, 5, 1 in B flat is going from C to F to B flat. So that lets me know my 7, 3, 6 for D flat. So I got my 1, 7, 3 is going to be F. I'm just going to come down a half step. So whatever, come down a half step to a C diminished 7 chord in my right hand. Go to F. And then I go to my 6th, I'm just going to drop down half step. I can add the A flat in my left hand if I want to. Alright, go to key of G. I got 1, 7, alright, 3, 6. So it's pretty much just the movement. You get the movement down, you're good to go. Let's go to the key of B flat. Alright, so we got 1. We got 1, 7. Alright, if you get lost, think about the 2, 5, 1. The relative minor for B flat is G. 2, 5, 1 in G is A to D to G. So that's going to give you my 7, 3, 6. So I got 1, 7, 3. And that's it. Now it takes the thinking out of it. You don't even have to think. You just play the chords. Alright, go to another key. Let's go to E flat. So you got 1, 7. Alright, 3 is going to be off G. 3 and 6, just drop down a half step. 6. Alright. These chords are probably going to sound better down here. 1, 7. I don't know. Maybe a key thing that sounds a little dark to me. But the good thing about it is you can invert these diminished 7 chords. So for example, if I'm playing here and I'm playing in E flat, for example, and I get to my 7 and I'm saying it sounds too dark, right? It sounds too dark. You can invert this chord. You can take the E flat, put it up top, and play this chord here, or you can take the G flat and put it up top and play this portion, or you can play that. And it also may depend on your melody note. If your melody note is one of those notes, you may want to put that at the top to, may want to invert that chord to include it at the top of the chord anyway. But just for the basic 7, 3, 6, just say I was to invert the chord. Instead of playing here, I was going to play here to make it not as dark. Alright. And then when I go to my 6, the same thing. I just play the same inversion. Let me show you. I play my 1, alright, my 7. Just took that same diminished 7 chord, but played it here. When I go to my 3, I would just come here. Still the same movement. Alright? And then when you go to your 6, it's gonna change a little bit. You got to go to your notes for your C minor chord. So see, we're gonna go. Probably the best way to get to it is probably go here with it. Just kind of mess around with that. But the main thing is you can just simply take that chord, turn it into a diminished 7 chord, the 1 chord, go to the 3, drop down a half step to the diminished 7 chord, and then go to your 6 by just simply dropping down the top 2 notes right here, down a half step. Alright, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please let me know.